Hello.
Hi Isabel. Isabella, how are you doing?
I can't hear you.
You can hear me?
I hear you very far.
Oh no. Let me see. What can it be? Are you wearing headphones maybe?
I don't have any.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, so today, Isabel, if you could turn your camera on, we're going to see, let me check. Isabella. We haven't seen any calls, any speaking section. All right, so that's, I'm going to explain you really quick. Okay, the speaking task number 1. So, remember we have these 4 tasks or type of questions in the speaking section, and in all of these calls we're going to be practicing all the question, and each of them we're going to practice 2 times. Okay, so the first one that we haven't seen in classes, however we're going to practice today, it's called the independent call. Why independent? Because they are going to ask about your opinion. Okay, so basically you don't have to read anything, you don't have to listen anything, you have to answer depending on your own experience. Okay, so the instruction is always going to be the same.
Sorry, I interrupt. Do I need any paper or a pencil or?
Yeah. You can bring a piece of paper. You're not going to write much, and if you can write on your computer too. It's fine, but it's very short. What we're going to see. Please turn your camera on.
Yes. I'm gonna find the paper.
Sure. Okay, just a reminder, all of the each of these calls are going to be recorded in our YouTube channel. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing this document. I think you already have it. It's the templates or units. I'm pretty sure you already have it, but I'm going to share it again. Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, great. I'll just share this in the document that we were practicing. Okay, great. Okay, so could you read the instruction, please? It's this part.
Yes. You will now be able to give your opinion about a familiar topic. After you hear the question, you will have 15 seconds to prepare your response and 45 seconds to speak.
All right. No. So basically, they're telling you, okay, you're going to answer based on your opinion. What do you think about? Okay. So let me show you the document that I've just shared. And let me see. Oh, it's okay, right there. Okay. So if you pay attention to this template, now we have like it's different type of idea, we would call it, no? We have the main point, we have the transition, then first reason, second reason. Okay? So basically, this is the way that we should respond. No, you can get 3 different type of tasks in this first task. No, then task number 1. So you can either get an agree or disagree question. For example, do you agree with the following or disagree with the following statement? And they're going to present something, an idea. And basically you have to say, oh, I agree with this idea or I disagree with this idea. Okay? It could be about anything. Usually it's about familiar topics. The other type of question that you can get is, do you prefer, no, and they're going to ask you between two things. In this case, do you prefer to study at home or at the library? And you choose between. No, that's the second type of question. And the last one, the third type of question, is they're going to ask you if it's a good idea. You're going to present an idea. For example, here it's talking about health. No, they're going to ask you, in your opinion, is this a good idea? No, the three type of questions always are going to ask you about what do you think. No, what's your opinion? What do you believe on? No. So we have 3 different type of questions. That's why in the first part, to mention the main point, no, you pick one of these. So if you get this type of question, do you agree or disagree? Usually it's always going to be that clear. No siempre va a estar así de claro, ¿no? ¿Estás de acuerdo o desacuerdo? ¿Prefieres o esa es una buena idea? ¿No? Y luego ya menciona un poquito más la idea o la pregunta. No, pero siempre va a estar claro cuál es, ¿no? Entonces, depending on that, you choose one of these ideas to start responding. For example, we're going to practice with number 2. Okay? So we're going to. Okay, let's pretend you're doing the TOEFL or you're taking the TOEFL and you get this question. Okay? Do you prefer to study at home or in a library? Which one of these 3 you will use to start responding?
I think it is better to.
Exactly. Yeah. So you choose between 2, no? In this case, it could be any. It doesn't matter. There is no incorrect response because you're talking about your opinion. No, there is no wrong opinion. No, and then you will continue using these ideas to respond. Okay, but before we see this, let's pretend you have these 15 seconds to prepare your response. No, lo acabas de leer. Ahora vamos a ver estos 15 segundos para preparar. Yeah. If you already noticed, no, you basically have to do 2 reasons why you choose this one of these places to study. All right, so let's start. Okay, you just got a question. Isabella, which one do you prefer to study? Do you prefer to study at home or in the library?
Should I give the whole answer?
No, just choose between one of them.
I prefer study at home.
All right. So basically, during these 15 seconds, you need to take notes, but because it's not too much time, no, we're just going to write some words. Okay, so you said home. No, we basically just write home. And then we have to find 2 reasons. Reason 1 and reason 2 to support your opinion. No, okay. Why do you prefer to study at home? Can you think of one reason? Why do you prefer to study at your house?
I can concentrate more.
Okay. All right. And another reason?
I can study on my own path.
You can study what, sorry?
On my own time, like
your own, we can say it's schedule, no? Okay, so remember, you just have 15 seconds to do this. No, so it's very important that as soon as you read a question, you're going to get the timer, no, in the computer, depending if you take the home edition or if you take it in the center. But it's with these 15 seconds, you have to do this exercise. You choose between one of the options, Or in the case that you get this other type of questions, no, you write, oh, I agree, or you just write, oh, I disagree, no, instead of. Or if you get this one, no, it's a good idea, or it's a bad idea, or it's a great idea, or a terrible idea. No, if you're supporting or you're against, no, and then you always have to find these two reasons. Okay, so let's practice a little bit. So you got a question, you got your 15 seconds to prepare your response, which is this, and then you will have 45 seconds to respond. No? And how do we respond? No, do you prefer? We already know you have to start the question with this, no? I think it is better too. And then you mention, no? You have to mention the complete idea, no? To study at the library or to study at home. And then you continue with the transition. I feel this way for two reasons. And then you start mentioning. First, and then you mention really brief your reason one. Okay? I get better, I concentrate better at my house. And then you need to have either an example or a detail. Okay, that's very important. If you cannot think of an example, no, you can say something like, I read an article in, I don't know. It's a way to get out when you don't know what to say. And you mention, no, a really famous magazine, no, or news. No, I read an article in the New York Times that, and you can make something up. ¿No? Y ahí un poquito puedes parafrasear para que tenga sentido lo que has dicho, ¿no? I read an article in the New York Times that said that people, college students get better grades when they study at home. There is no way that they know if what you're saying is correct or not. No, you're kind of like trying to make something up, but it sounds like you know what you're talking about. You're talking about your experience, something that you read, ¿no? That's why it's a way, ¿no? Cuando no tienes que decir, no se te ocurre algo, o lo que vas a decir tal vez muy extenso, esa es una manera de salir, ¿no? Del paso. Pero si no, if you think of an example, a short example, say it. You can mention. But remember, it shouldn't be more, your whole idea shouldn't be more than 18 seconds. Okay, that's important. The first part that we're introducing the question, it's 8 seconds. The first reason, 18 seconds, and the second reason, 18. Okay? So you do exactly the same thing. Second reason, you mention your second reason, no? Oh, and well, I get my secondly or second, no? I get my own schedule. To be more specific, no? For example, or besides, or I don't know. And you have to use a connector, ¿no? Si te has dado cuenta, es importante la conexión, los conectores, más bien dicho, perdón, las palabras, las frases transitorias, ¿no? Es bien importante, porque como es tu organización y te da mucho puntaje. So you can say, for example, to be more specific, and then you mention, ¿no? Siempre es importante que aquí pienses, si en los 15 segundos no te da para pensar, no hay problema. Pero ya has podido pensar en esto, y posiblemente ya tienes algo más en mente para agregar, ¿no? Un pequeño detalle, que puede ser un ejemplo corto o un detalle. Okay, so let's practice. We have 1 minute left. So I'm going to take the time, 45 seconds. No nos vamos a concentrar en el tiempo, sin embargo, sí en el contenido. Okay, so I don't know if there are any questions. No, we have what to say, and you have the reasons here. Whenever you're ready, we'll start. 45 seconds. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, great. Go.
I think it is better to study at home rather than in the library. I feel this way for two reasons. First, concentration. I feel that you can concentrate more when you study by your own. And for example, one time I could finish everything that I had to do on time because I was at home studying. Second, I can do it on my own schedule, and to be more specific, I can manage my time and finish faster. I don't know.
Okay. All right, it was good. It was actually good. Believe it or not, it was very good. Obviously it was the first time. We are definitely going to practice a bit more, no? But it was very good, no? So so basically that's the first type of question, no? You get either these three types, no, and depending on what you get, you prepare your response in these 15 seconds, and then you basically just fill in the spaces with your own ideas or opinion.
Okay.
No? Any questions, Isabella?
No, I'm good. It was
Okay.
really good.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Isabella. And we'll practice one more time next week with this question, and then we will work on the rest of the questions. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you in a little bit. Hi, Roger. How are you doing?
Hi, good afternoon, Miss.
Good afternoon.
Do I have to turn on my camera?
Yes, please. Yes, it's
Okay.
mandatory. Thank you. All right. So, Roger, we haven't practiced now any questions yet with you. So let me introduce really quick what we're going to do today. So if you remember, for the speaking section, we have 4 different type of tasks, no? The task number 1, 2, 3, and 4, we've seen 2 and 3, no? And let's see, we haven't seen task number 1 yet, but we're going to practice today. So for the task number 1, it's called independent because they're going to ask about your opinion besides any familiar topic, okay? So the time to prepare your response is just 15 seconds, and you have 45 seconds to respond. Okay, so 15 seconds is not a lot, but I'm going to tell you what to do in these 15 seconds. So the instruction is always going to be the same, no, or very, very similar. Could you read the instruction, please? Is this part?
Okay. You will now be asked to give your opinion about a familiar topic. After you hear the question, you will have 15 seconds to prepare your response and 45 seconds to speak.
All right, great. So the instruction tells you already what task it is, no? Task number 1. And then you are going to get the question, no? We're not going to see the specific question, but I'm going to share. I'm pretty sure you already have this, just in case I'm sharing it with you, the template. So either way, if you already have it, just open it. So I'm going to share this document with you. I'm going to teach you how to respond. Okay, so for the first type of question, we can get 3 different type of questions. Okay, you can either get do you prefer, no? And they're going to mention something. Do you prefer, well, it's actually not in order. Okay, we can see that. Okay, do you agree or disagree? And they're going to mention an idea, no? It could be about anything. No, in this case, they're talking a little bit about face masks, no? It could be about anything, but they're asking you, in your opinion, no, do you agree or disagree? So you choose between these 2. Or you can get this type of question, do you prefer, and they're going to mention anything. Do you prefer ice cream or jogging? No, they're going to be asking you between 2 things. In this case, they ask you, do you prefer to study at this place or or at this other place? And you choose one. No, or they can ask you, they can mention any idea. No, in this case, they're talking about health, exercising, no? And they ask, at the end, they will ask you, is this a good idea? And then you respond, no, you choose, oh, it's a good idea, or maybe no, I don't think it's a good idea. So it's maybe a bad idea or a terrible idea, no? So I have these 3 different type of questions in task number 1. Okay, so why do I mention this? Because depending on what type of question you get, you're going to choose between one of these ideas to start responding. No, for example, if you get, do you agree or disagree with the following statement type of question, which of these sentences will you choose to respond?
The first one
The
sentences.
first. Yes, not the
Yep.
first one. No, I agree with the idea that, or I disagree with the idea that, no, and then you continue. Siempre acá tenemos que mencionar la idea. No, in this case, we're going to practice with number 2, because I think it's the easiest one to start. And they are mentioning, no, do you agree with this? Oh, sorry, do you prefer to study at home or in the library? In this case, no, the correct idea to respond will be, I think it's better to, and we have to mention the idea, not to study where. What do you think? Which place is better to study, for in your opinion, at home or at the library?
Well, I haven't been in a library, so I will say home. At
Okay.
home.
Okay, right. So you are already choosing one, no? So that's the thing. No, there is no wrong answer. So it's always correct because it's your opinion, no? Each opinion is different and they're also right because it's just an opinion. Okay, so then you're going to have a transition. You can continue, no? I feel this way for 2 reasons, and then you have to mention 2 reasons why you are choosing this in this case, no? You're talking about home. Okay, so in the instruction said that we have 15 seconds to prepare your response. So let's pretend you got the question. Let's read it one more time. Roger, do you prefer to study at home or in the library? You said home, no? So we think of 2 reasons why do you prefer to study at home. Can you give me one reason why you prefer to
Because
study?
it is more comfortable.
Okay, great. Comfort. All right. I think it's them. Yes. And then a second reason, what will be?
You can wear whatever you want.
You can what?
You don't
Sorry.
have- you can wear.
Where?
Wear, yeah. You can wear, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
You can just mention, no? Like, we could also be comfortable, no? But we can just write the clothes, thinking about something big, no? So why I'm just writing words and not writing the whole idea? Because we just have 15 seconds. 15 seconds is not a lot of time. So it's important that we use this 15 times to think instead of write, no? So that's why we're just writing, no? 3 words, basically. We're choosing one we're going to talk about, and then 2 reasons. Reason 1, reason 2. Okay? So after you do this, then you have 45 seconds to respond, no? So in these 45 seconds, like I was mentioning before, we pick, no, these ideas depending on what type of question we got. No, in this case, it should be the next one, no? The second one, sorry. And I think it is better to, no, you complete the idea. La la la, no? Then you go transition, the transition, no? I feel this way for 2 reasons. We have to mention this idea, no? And then you go first, or you can say firstly, or first of all, no? But you have to mention order, first and second. It has to be clear. And then you mention really briefly here, no? Your idea. No, really, really briefly. And then you're going to explain. You can explain it, or you can add an idea, no? You can mention an example if you want to. If you cannot think of an example, you can say something that help us, ¿no? To don't stay quiet, ¿no? Lo peor que puedes hacer en los speaking, bueno, en cualquiera, ¿no? Es dejar una respuesta en blanco o no hablar. Entonces, acá, a phrase that help us to complete, ¿no? Maybe an idea that I'm not very sure what to say. I read an article, and we can mention any type of magazine or news, no? In the New York Times, or you can say in the Washington Post, no? I read an article in this place that mentioned, no? And then I can mention or make something up. No, for example, me voy a inventar, ¿ya? Esa es la idea de eso, nos ayuda a zafar un poquito, ¿no? So, for example, I'm talking about comfy clothes. No, you can wear anything. But I don't know how to add an idea. I can say, oh, well, secondly, you can wear any clothes. To be more specific, I don't know what to say. I can say, I read an article in the New York Times that mentioned that an study that people that feels more comfortable while they're studying, they get better scores. I'm making something up, ¿no? Lo que he dicho tiene sentido, pero me estoy inventando, ¿no? ¿Por qué? Porque tal vez no se me ocurre un ejemplo o algo que agregar a mi razón, y es una forma de zafar un poquito, ¿no? No es obligatorio, ¿no? Si se me ocurre un ejemplo, está bien, pero acuérdate que tiene que ser corto. No puede pasar más de 18 segundos. First reason, 18 seconds. Second reason, 18 seconds, no more than that. Okay? And to start or to introduce the idea or your response, no? Always with one of these ideas. And basically here in this ellipses, we add this information, no? And it should take more than 18 seconds. So if we add all of these seconds at the end, it's 44 seconds. No? So I don't know if you have any questions. No, basically is that we mention the first idea and then we try to add an example. If we cannot think of an example, we can mention this, or we can try to add a detail. No, and then you go second or secondly or second of all. No, and then you mention your second reason, really briefly, and then you go to be more specific, and you add a detail, no, to complete the idea. Now you can say, no, for example, you can say exemplifying, for instance, or you can, instead of saying to be more specific, si te olvidas, no, you can say besides, furthermore, I don't know, no, you can use any connector that help you to add more information. All right. So any questions, Roger? Well, maybe you can practice.
No, miss, everything is fine.
Great. Okay, so let's start. Let's pretend we're not going to concentrate too much on the time. However, you're going to have just 45 seconds. You're going to listen when time's up. But I want you to concentrate in the content. Okay, so you start with one of the main point ideas, go to transition, and then you start mentioning your reasons. No? Reason one, an example, an idea, a detail, no? Or if you don't know what to say, you can say this. Then second reason, no? And then to be more specific, you add an idea. All right, so let's start. Whenever you start talking, I'll run the timer.
Okay. I think it is better to study at home, and I feel this way for two reasons. First of all, it is more comfortable. You can wear whatever you want. I read an article in the New York Times that mentions that when you feel comfortable, you can have better notes, better score. Sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, you couldn't hear the time. Well, you have 2 seconds left. Yeah. So it's basically that, no? The whole idea is that we have the template and we just fill in the blank spaces, ¿no? Ya tenemos cómo responder. Está muy bien, lo has hecho muy bien, ¿no? Pero la idea es esa, ¿no? No te vas a concentrar en cómo decir, cómo organizar, ya está. Te concentras en tu respuesta, en tus ideas, en tu opinión, ¿no? Y siempre lo ideal es que en estos 15 segundos te concentres en las razones, ¿no? Y las escribas, porque es fácil de olvidarse. Y bueno, lo has hecho muy bien, Para hacer la primera vez, está muy bien. Next week we're going to practice a bit more on the next type of questions. Como ya sabes cómo es, vamos a practicar más rápido. Okay,
Miss.
Thank you very much, Roger. See you in a little bit.
Bye, Miss. Thank you.
Bye-bye. You're welcome. Hi, Carolina. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Miss.
Good
I'm fine,
afternoon.
thank you.
All right, Carolina. We're going to start with today's class. Let me start, or well, introduce it. Oh, Carolina, I think we already worked on question number 1, no?
Yes,
All right, great. So let's practice on another type of question. Do you remember what type of question did we practice last week? Probably this one, no?
yeah, it was do you prefer?
Okay, great. So today we're going to practice do you agree or disagree? All right, just a quick reminder. No, depending on what type of question you choose, the main idea to respond. No, in this case, if you get do you agree or disagree, we should start our response with this idea. No, then you go continue.
Okay.
I feel this way for 2 reasons, and then you have to mention your reasons. Okay. So now you're going to get 15 seconds to prepare your response. Okay, remember? So you choose. No, do you agree or disagree? Reason 1, what is it? Reason 2, what is it? All right. Any questions?
No, I think it's clear.
Great. Okay. I'll run the timer and you have 15 seconds to prepare. Okay, I'm gonna mute my microphone. Let's start working. The question goes, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? People should be fined. I'm going to erase this. I don't get this right. People should be fined when they do not wear masks or face masks during the pandemic. Do you know the meaning of fined?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, you can start now. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I agree with.
Sorry, you have 15 seconds to prepare. Now we're
Okay.
running this 15 seconds. Now you can write it, the reasons. Okay, I'm going to start again. 15 seconds to prepare your response. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. All right, time's up. Okay, take a deep breath. Check the template. All right, and whenever you start talking, I'll run the timer. You will have 45 seconds. Cuando estés lista, comienzas a hablar y yo le voy a dar clic en el tiempo, pero toma tu tiempo. Si necesitas, está bien. Tranquilo.
Okay. Well, I agree with the people that they don't wear masks should be fined, because I think there's a lot of countries, including Bolivia, that they can't control the pandemic yet. So it's really important that people should masks, even that they put in risk other people who are more than 60 years. Also people who have issues like diabetic and other problems. And I think it's really important and necessarily that they have to wear masks. It's not just an option, it's an obligation.
Nice, great. Okay, great job. So basically, no, as you see, it's very easy. No, basically we just fill our ideas, no, if you agree or you disagree in this case, no, and then find reason 1 and reason 2, no. But remember, it's also important to mention what is the reason, no, and also maybe in the 15 seconds we don't have time to write, no, our detail or example that we want to mention, because we have to add, no, another idea to complete the whole reason, no. But we have to keep it in mind, no, and it's important that we introduce it. For example, no, valga la redundancia, if you are going to mention an example, you have to say, no, exemplifying, for instance, for example. Entonces ya el que te va a evaluar, que está escuchando tu respuesta, ya sabes si vas a decir un ejemplo. Entonces es importante que lo introduzcas así. If you're going to add a piece of idea, then you simply go to be more specific. Besides, furthermore, you need to use a connector. And
Okay.
if at any point you forget what you say, I'm not sure if I mentioned last class, but you can always go with I read an article in the, it could be in the New York Times or in the Washington Post. That said, that mentions, and you can make something up. Es una manera excelente de un poquito zafar tal vez cuando no sabemos qué decir, porque lo peor que puedes hacer cuando estás respondiendo en el speaking es quedarte callado. Nunca te quedes callado. Entonces, si en algún punto you don't know what to say, remember, I read an article in the New York Times or in the Washington Post and make something up. No importa lo que digas, ¿no? Puedes hablar de un estudio, de una investigación, de research, study, anything, ¿no? And you make something up, okay? But it was very good. Thank you very much, Carolina. Great job. Let's continue. Now let's see the third type of question, which is it's a good or bad idea. No, in this case, because we're talking it's a good or bad idea, no? We start the response with this. No, I think it's a great idea or it's a terrible idea, depending what you think. No, so the question goes. According to many health experts, people should be rigorously exercising 45 minutes a day for 6 days a week. In your opinion, is this a good idea or a bad idea? No, I just sent it through the chat too, because it's a little bit longer. No? So we should start with this. Of which of these three ideas should you start? Should you use to start your response, Carolina?
I think it's a great or terrible idea too.
Okay, great, awesome. So now you will have 15 seconds, no? And any questions?
No.
All right, okay. You have 15 seconds to prepare your response, okay? Remember, okay. Find reason 1 and reason 2. All right, time's up. And take your time, it's fine, we're practicing. So if you feel ready, you can start responding now. If you need a little bit more, it's fine. ¿No? Yo voy a comenzar a correr el timer cuando comiences a hablar. Yeah? So if you need a little bit more, it's fine.
Okay. Well, I think it's a great idea to people should be rigorously exercising at least 45 minutes a day, because I read an article in a medicine book which talks about how important it is to be sportive in your life to be healthy. So I think people, especially during the pandemic, it be lazy. So it's necessary to put again our se me ha ido la palabra. No, quería decir. I want to say that we should put in practice again that we did before the pandemic, like going to the gym, but in our houses. Like, I don't know, could be exercises that don't require unnecessary equipment. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, it was good. Your first reason was very good, but remember we have to mention both of them. No? Obviously, you're not seeing the timer, pero ahora sí te voy a mostrar para que lo veas, ¿ya? Vamos a practicar la misma pregunta otra vez, pero en esta oportunidad trata de mencionar las dos reasons, ¿ya? Y acuérdate, el tiempo es bien importante, ¿no? Estamos mencionando aquí básicamente copias y pegas la respuesta entre comillas, no la repites, ¿no? I think it is better, no, sorry. I think it's a great idea that people should, si no quiero decir todo, pero por lo menos que se entienda, ¿no? That people should exercise 45 minutes, 6 days a week. And then you go, I feel this way for 2 reasons, and then you start explaining, ¿no? First, la primera parte tiene que ser cortita, ¿no? If it's 2-3 words, that's enough. You don't need to mention more than that. And then you go, no, for example, blah, blah, blah. In this case, you use, no, I read an article, ¿no? Pero también acordate, no puede ser muy extenso. It has to go short, ¿no? Y cuando terminas con esto, ya no hablas más. No, ahí muere. And then you jump to the second reason. Secondly, mention your second reason, and then here, no, you add a detail. To be more specific, ¿no? Pero cuando veas ya el timer te vas a dar cuenta un poquito más de cómo organizar tu tiempo. Okay? So, let's start one more time. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Well, I think it's a great idea that people at least exercise themselves 45 minutes at a week, well, for 5 days a week. I feel that way first because I think it's necessary to exercise our bodies to be healthy. For example, in the United States, there are a lot of people who are fat and they don't have a great health. Second, I read in a magazine which one article talks about medicine, and in that article mentioned that it's necessary to do a sport to be healthy.
It was good. It was definitely better, no? It was great. I really like the first idea that you mentioned. But remember, in the second one, we didn't mention it. We just jump into it. No, I read an article in the New York Times, you forgot to mention. No, es bien importante que siempre esté aclarado, ¿no? Puede ser cualquier razón. Sin embargo, tienen que ser razones distintas. Por eso es importante en esos 15 minutos que yo escriba, porque de esa manera yo analizo. No pueden ser razones muy distintas, ¿no? Entonces, razón 1 y razón 2 son razones, obviamente, pero no pueden ser muy similares porque si no la misma idea va a aparecer como solo una. Tienen que ser distintas, no muy similares. ¿Ok? I don't think we have more time for other questions. I don't know if you have any questions, maybe something that is not very clear.
No, I think it's okay.
Okay, great. Okay, Carolina, thank you very much. See you in a little bit then.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.